What's up, everyone? Today I want to continue with our beginner Terraform tutorials here and talk about some additional Terraform commands in addition to the ones that we used in our workflow. As always, the code I'm working with here is available out in my GitHub repository. I'll include a link to that down below. I'm directly into the TF demo folder right here, so that way we don't see all the other files and folders and everything that are in that repository. My name is Jeff. This is Jeff Brown Tech. Let's go ahead and get started. So just to recap, in case you just came across this video, I'll include a link to this playlist down in the video description also. But what we have here is just some Terraform code that is creating files on our local system, generating some random pet names for our file names and some random integers. And then we're just creating some files out onto our local system and then also putting some outputs here of our pet name and our integer that we're generating. And we've talked about our workflow already. Let's just recap that real quick. What we have here is we can do Terraform init. That'll do is make sure we have all of our providers and modules that we need to run our Terraform code. We have Terraform plan. This will show us if we need to make any changes. Basically right now, the configuration that I have written out here matches everything that I have deployed. In this case, the files on my local system. So there's no changes that we need to make there. Then we also have Terraform apply. And what that will do is apply our changes. We do have to do an approval typically if there are any changes there that we had to make. And at the core, that is our very basic workflow there. But in this case, I just want to go over some other commands that you can include and then go into some more details on our planning and applying. The first one is Terraform format. In that case, it formats your files so it looks really pretty and everything. So everything's formatted correctly. You'll notice here we have, opening curly brackets here, and then we have some indentation here. And as we go into each block here inside the curly brackets, it just continues to indent and it's super nice looking. If you go down and look inside our Terraform code here, you'll notice that our equal signs always line up like this with our attributes that we're putting on our resources. And we have our key value names here, just making sure everything lines up correctly. In this case, there's extra spaces here just to make these equal signs line up and our values here. Now, you don't have to type all that out manually if you go to do this. For example, here, let me take this and I'm just going to change up the indentation here. Just kind of make everything left adjusted to the left here. Same thing here. I'm going to add some spaces and all that fun stuff and save my file. What you can do is come out here and just run Terraform format, and it's just FMT. And if you notice changes in our file here, it goes back and formats it into the way we want it, so it makes it look nice and everything like that. If we go back over to our Terraform block, it's re-added the indentation and everything. If you have the Terraform executable on your local system, and then maybe even the extension installed, I believe I went over that in the introduction video. You can also do this directly within VS Code here. So on Windows, if you press F1 and you just say format document, there's an option here. There's also shortcut key Shift-Alt-F. And if I hit that, it will do the exact same thing for me, run the format command and make it look nice and pretty and everything. Now, I'm not sure if I covered this command in one of the previous videos, but we'll go ahead and talk about it again real quick. Our other command that we have here is Terraform validate. What this is going to do is make sure everything in our file is syntactically correct and we're making references and we don't have anything, we're missing a closing bracket or anything like that. If I run this right now, it's going to come back and say everything is valid. You should be good to go to create a plan and hopefully go apply this. But if we come in here and let's just say I'm missing I forgot to close out this right here. Of course, if you have some of these extensions installed, it's immediately going to come up and you're going to see a bunch of red squigglies like that. And this is a very egregious mistake here. But if we go Terraform validate again, it's just going to come through and it's causing cascading errors all the way down. But if we scroll all the way to the top of this error message here, you can see we got quite a few things going on. We'll come here first. It just says invalid multi-string error. It's usually pretty explicit and helpful, saying here are the lines that's happening on 1819. You may have a quoted string that's over multiple lines, but that's just invalid. And you come right back up here and go, oh, this is what I'm missing right here. Let me go ahead and add that back in here. And that should clear that up. So if I just run validate again, you're good to go there. So it can just catch things like that where you maybe forgot some brackets or anything like that. Very helpful there. One of the other things it'll do is it will perform validation on any resource references or anything like that, and also make sure variables you have defined that you might be using. We'll cover variables in another video eventually. But let's come in here and let's say, I'm using the random pet, or I'm using the random provider to create a pet name for my file name here. If we come back up here, we have random pet name, file name. They'll link this to, right now it's hip terrier, separated by an underscore. And I want to use what's generated out of that in my file name. So I come down here and I'm using, since this is a quoted string, using $ brackets, and I'm referencing random pet name and file name. And then I have a property here as the ID. In that case, it's outputting the resulting name that it generated. But what if I came in here and tried to use an attribute that didn't exist and I said .name? I don't think this is a valid attribute, but we'll find out here in a second. If I run Terraform validate, it'll come back and say you are using an unsupported attribute, line 36, .name. This has no argument or attribute name. I'm trying to reference something here that doesn't exist. If I come back and just set that back to name, we'll save that, run Terraform validate again, and we should be good to go. Terraform validate is a great one if you want it to just run a quick check and make sure everything is correct. When you run Terraform plan, it does do a validation also, but then it has to go through and figure out what changes are in your infrastructure. So it could take some extra time. If you want to just perform a validation, just run Terraform validate. All right, the next thing we want to do is I want to get into a little bit more detail about a command we already know, and that is the Terraform plan command. Here we have another option of outputting our plans or our changes that the configuration is going to make, and we can save that into a file. And you just use the -out parameter here and then give yourself a file name. This file name can have an extension if you want to. It can just be a name like this, like tfplan. It's whatever you want to make it to be. You might run into places where if they're working in multiple environments, that you're creating some infrastructure in your cloud or something like that, they might say, oh, this is our plan for our dev, and call it dev.tfplan. It's really whatever you want to call it here. In this case, I'm just going to call it tfplan. So we have Terraform plan. We're going to output the results of that plan into a file called tfplan. If we run that, in this case, it says no changes. Your infrastructure matches the configuration, so we actually aren't making any changes here. But if you notice over here on the left, I now have a tfplan file in the root of my Terraform module here, or my code that I'm creating. Let's actually create something here, and what we'll do is create another file so we actually have something inside of our plan file. I'm going to copy this, and we're going to call this Hello World 2. I did this earlier. So it's prompting me here for those same updates. All right, so I'm creating another local file called Hello World 2. That's how I reference it inside of Terraform. And we're just adding Hello World 2 as the file name here. Let me clear this out. We'll go ahead and run our plan file again, or plan command, and output it to tfplan file. And it shows we're going to add one thing to it. If we try to go look at this tfplan, I'm not sure what the encoding is or anything, but it's something, it's a binary or whatever, and you can't really, I've never gone and seen if I could look inside this file or what's included in it or anything. So, but you don't need to worry about that. Let's come back out here. So now we have our plan file, and what we can do with this plan file, you can notice right down here, it says this, we save this plan to this file. And if you want to perform these exact actions, such as adding this one file here, you'll run this command. And we've run the Terraform apply command previous videos and everything. And all we do is reference our plan file name. So let's actually go ahead and do that. We'll do Terraform apply tfplan. So we'll run that. It'll go through. It says complete. We have our outputs here that we have in our Terraform configuration. If we look over here, we have Hello World 2, and it created our file there. Now, one thing you'll notice, if you remember from previous videos, we used to run Terraform apply, and it would prompt us that we'd have to approve the deployment that we're about to do. In fact, let's go ahead and just do that again. So in this case, I'm going to change this file name. Let's run a Terraform plan just to make sure we have some changes here. It's going to replace that file since I changed the file name on it. And if we clear this out and I run Terraform apply, notice we have to enter a value. Do you want to perform these actions? Only yes will be accepted. In this case, let me go ahead and cancel that. Now, if you do a plan file, it doesn't prompt you for it. So let's just walk through that again real quick. So I'm going to do Terraform plan, out tfplan. basically what this is doing is if you have created this plan here and you know what's in the plan and you're okay applying it, when you say Terraform apply and specify the plan file, it's not going to prompt you. It's assuming you're good with making these changes because you've already created this output file here, this plan file, and it just goes through and does it. You don't have to type in yes to approve it there and make it happen. So it's one of the advantages you'll see with creating plan files and the differences when you go to apply it. Now, one of the things it says there is if you want to make these exact changes, use the TF plan file. Now, what would that look like if we did something a little different here? Now, let's go ahead and do our apply here. And okay, this is good too, because sometimes you're running this, the plan file is stale because the state was changed or something else happened before the last time you generated this plan file. So let's go ahead and do this again. No changes, your infrastructure matches the configuration. Good, okay. I'm just gonna go put this back into 2. I guess I'd already applied that TF plan and I forgot while I was sitting there talking. That's why it was stale. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's say we're going to change this to 3. I have a Terraform plan. We'll create the plan here again. Basically, it says it's going to replace this file here, and we have our TF plan there already done. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to change it to Hello World 3. Okay, so that's what's in our plan right now. But let's say I come back in here and I say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to change this to A. We'll do a letter instead of a number and save that. If I go through and I run my Terraform apply with my plan, when I originally had it set to 3, we can see that's the change it indeed makes. If we come back in here, it renamed or deleted and recreated our file and named it 3 instead of A, even though that's what I have in my configuration right now, because back when I made the plan, I wanted it to be named hello world 3.txt. So again, that's where the plan comes in handy, is it's applying that exact configuration that you wanted right then, despite if somebody else comes back into the Terraform configuration and makes some other change here. All right, let me go ahead and just undo that because I want to leave it at 3 right now. Now, we mentioned where the Terraform applying with a plan doesn't prompt you for approval, but what if you don't have a plan file, but maybe you have some automation, some CI/CD workflow or whatever, and you want to do an apply where it auto approves it, and there's the keyword there, auto approve, because somebody's not going to be watching that automation. Maybe it's a runbook or something like that, and you want to just have it approve automatically. So let's go ahead and go through. Let's go ahead and make another change here. We'll say hello world 2. If we do a Terraform plan, we're not going to create a plan file or anything like that. It's going to say must be replaced because we changed the file name. Perfect. So let's do Terraform apply. And we have an option here for auto approve. Now, no plan file, but if we run auto approve, it's going to go through and approves. We're saying we approve whatever changes this wants to do, and it goes through and does it without prompting us to approve applying our changes there. So auto approve is great if you have this inside a CI/CD workflow and there's no one there to physically type in YES to make sure it goes through and happens. Finally, let's take a look at one other command, and it's actually sort of an alias here, but what if you want to just delete everything? You don't want to, erase your code here necessarily, but you want to destroy all of your resources or delete them. There is Terraform destroy. If we run this, it's going to go through and kind of run a plan. It creates a plan saying this is the changes we're going to make. We're going to destroy 5 things here. Again, it prompts us, do you want to destroy all these resources? And we can type in YES to make sure it happens. I'm not going to do that just yet because there is another way to do this. You can do a Terraform plan, but then do a destroy or add the destroy argument or parameter here, and that will do the same thing. Let's go through and say, what do you want to happen here? In this case, it didn't prompt us because we're just doing a plan. If you notice here, I can output this to a plan file also. And then if I run Terraform apply, it will go through and delete all my stuff there. Now let's go back through and I just want to, let's go ahead and do apply auto approve to kind of recreate everything. Got some different integers and pet names. And if I do Terraform destroy, I'm sure it has an auto approve. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but let's just try that. Yep, there's auto approve. Perfect. Didn't prompt us for it. But Terraform destroy is just kind of an alias of Terraform plan and apply, or plan with the dash destroy prompted, added to it there. Essentially the same thing. It is kind of fun just to run Terraform destroy though, and watch all your stuff disappear, and then just be able to recreate it, real quick right back. Anyway, that does it for this video. Wanted to go over some additional Terraform commands there. Talked about validate, talked about formatting. We created our plan files and then applied those and didn't have to auto approve them. Or how do you auto approve your applies if they're in a workflow or automation? And then how we can, quickly destroy all of our resources if we need to. Hope you found this useful. Next time, I think we'll talk a little bit about variables, how you can define those, and, of course, make your Terraform configuration here a little bit more dynamic. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.